Nope,
We're back
I
up.
think
We're back up.
yeah, we're
Sorry.
back up. Yep, all good, all good. Yeah, sorry everyone about the little difficulties we're experiencing here. We're trying to get this figured out real soon so we can get started in the match. But yeah, as for Teague, yeah, definitely a big deal. If you haven't played, and I don't know if Teague has never played for an audience before or not, but if you haven't, there's definitely always some nerves there. We'll see if Fruge kind of undergoes the same thing, because this will actually be his first TCL match. Last week it was Teague's first TCL match with that team, so we'll see if Fruge will be able to put on a good performance tonight with maybe some nerves, maybe not, but
True. I'm also seeing kind of a struggle on the amount of ranked played on the Verdant Monkeys because Fruge hasn't played ranked in about 2 weeks. Monkey 10 days. You know, Toasty and Tokimon are probably the most current with ranked.
yeah, absolutely.
Whereas, uh, no, I take that back. Basically nobody's playing any ranked time. I retract my statement. I thought I was gonna go to the other team and I was gonna be like, oh yeah. No, I was wrong.
Yeah, and I think absolutely they have had a little bit of difficulties, the Verdant Monkeys, in terms of getting the team together and getting some consistent practice in, especially with Fruge being away last week. So it definitely we'll see if they'll if they'll be able to pull it together or not, or if it will come to bite them that they haven't been able to work together as a team too much.
True. I mean, even though the bully hasn't been here for a few days or been playing with the team for a few days, it overall matters significantly less because, I mean, he's relegated to the top lane island tank duty.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking to get into the game pretty soon here, so hold tight, everyone. Here, you know what? Rather than 3 different things, I will stream for you, Raymond. And then we'll just have to sync up me and Wally on the stream. But
Okay, sounds good.
in the meantime, we should be getting into lobby pretty soon here.
Who do you think's going to pull out the MVP?
MVP, that's definitely a bold call. I gotta say, it'll probably. I mean, you always got to look to the team captains for one thing. I mean, Monkey and TJ definitely are going to have to be pulling their weight on their teams respectively for these teams to do well. We'll hopefully see some solid play from Monkey. I really didn't see much roaming from him last week, which I think was something that really characterized a lot of his play last season. So we'll see if he pulls any of that out again this week.
I find it interesting they banned the Sivir off the bat for A-Barn instead of just looking at the Kai'Sa first.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I think at least my own experience playing against A-Barn, I'd have to say his Kai'Sa is definitely scarier than his Sivir, although I will say Sivir can be a bit of a pain. Oh, interesting. We've got, I mean, everyone expects a Zillion ban for Ferd. The Udyr ban is kind of interesting. I'm not sure that Udyr is necessarily the strongest champion right now.
Yeah,
Definitely not like he was last season.
yeah. I mean, TJ used to play it a lot, but I just don't see it working like this. The only way this draft makes sense, I think, is if Toasty picks up the Kai'Sa, but I really don't like Toasty's Kai'Sa, so it's kind of questionable.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I find it really interesting that they would put 2 ADC bans on A-Barn and neither of them would be Kai'Sa. Ezreal banned away from Toasty. Toasty had a pretty solid Ezreal performance last week despite the loss, so not totally surprised to see that banned. One thing would be Gnar is not banned away from Pokemon Panda.
Nar's not banned, and they picked the Lee Sin first, which confuses me a lot. I mean, I don't think. Maybe is the Lee Sin pick a BM towards Bully or?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's definitely a Fruge Lee Sin because I'm like 90% positive Pokemon doesn't play Lee Sin for lane, and I'm like 100% positive Verd doesn't. So interesting. We're gonna get a really old-fashioned like season 1 League of Legends Lee Sin versus Xin Zhao matchup in the jungle.
I'm I'm really struggling with the blind pick jungle. I like what is I don't know what Toasty picks here is the issue. Because
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of solid picks off the table, and like we were saying, not surprised to see the Kaisa picked for Abar, and I think Abar's team's probably a little confused there too, why Kaisa was just left up for him.
well, if they don't pick the ADC in this first rotation, they're gonna pinch Toasty, and he's gonna be down 6 ADC picks.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
not every ADC has the tail whip champion pool. Vayne for Toasty into
Vayne
Xin
for
Zhao Kaisa.
Toasty. That is an incredibly bold pick. Oh man. I gotta say, it's I don't know if we've ever seen Toasty play Vayne before in TCL. Maybe we have. Regardless, Vayne, Toasty or not, is always just a very hit or miss champ. Either you're gonna fall behind to be absolutely useless, or you're gonna get really strong at just 1v9 the games. So we'll have to
All right.
see. As is, there's not really much support on that team for the Vayne pick, so we'll have to see.
So putting forth a tentative theory, pre-game collusion. They didn't ban the Kaisa. They didn't ban the Gnar, right?
Right.
They hand shook it. They're like, all right, guys, we're gonna let Tokimon play here. But I mean, they have to pick an engaged support bot lane, but whatever the engaged support is with Vayne has to somehow beat Kaisa and Nautilus, and like they lose the 3v3, even though Lee Sin's so early game.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the Nautilus pickup is pretty sad for Vayne too, because you're looking at 3 champs now that can just absolutely just dive and one-shot Vayne, should they choose to do so. And on top of that, I like the Morgana ban away from Monkey to take away any of that support for the Vayne.
So one way out of this, actually, I think Monkey goes Karma, and then we put Verd on Galio, and then they use that to counter engage the Nautilus. So if Red Side actually bans the Galio here, it'd be probably Giga Brain because it's the only way that the Blue Side draft works.
Yeah, yeah. That just makes me smile a little bit, you talking about Verd on Galio, because I know he does not like that champion by any means.
Well, I mean, they drafted themselves into a corner. There's only
They
so
sure
many
did.
options at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I gotta say their team is kind of looking pretty solo queuey. I mean, everyone's just on like their, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this comfort pick in their own lanes. I don't even know the Vayne's necessarily a comfort pick for Toasty or not, but we'll see what they round it out with between the mid and the support role. Not
Because
surprised to see the Azir ban from Caridian. Ooh,
I
it just gets worse for the Vayne, man. It just gets worse and worse.
I don't know. I'm almost speechless because I don't there's no way out. Like this is drafted to be a blowout. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe the outplay is just not there. I've missed things before. They pick the
Oof.
engaged support. If they don't pick Galio here, I mean it's washed. And if they
I'm
pick
thinking,
Galio,
I'm thinking it's gonna be a Verd like Vigar pick this right here, which
you
could
think they
maybe
go
be
for like
okay.
Anivia?
Uh, maybe Anivia could be decent. Something, yeah, there it is. I was just thinking that he's probably going to be looking at like Nautilus and Zen and being like, okay, I can drop my E, I can cut off some of that engage.
Well, they
Um,
also like if they had Monkey on his comfort pick, if they had a Karma here instead of a Leona, it might be more reasonable. But I mean, they're dragging down their marquee player with it like an off meta pick to try and make the
yeah,
3v3 bot lane work.
I will say I don't actually hate the comp from the Verdant Monkeys aside from that Vayne pick. I mean, if you didn't have the Vayne pick, I think that comp would look a lot more reasonable. But I just don't see how Vayne is ever going to follow up on the engage of Leona and Gnar. Whereas when they're looking to peel back, I mean, Vigar is going to be something, but you can't Vigar ult a Malphite ult. And then once Malphite ults, everyone's just going to walk around the cage or flash through it or whatever, and that Vayne's just going to be murdered. Especially with that Silas pick coming through too, because now the Silas has some pretty nice ults between Gnar and Leona, and even Lee Sin and Vigar
Even
to a
Lee Sin,
degree.
yeah, I was just about to say like this is I maybe they sacrificed Toasty, right? They put Toasty on literally any ADC, and they're like, okay, Verd, you're the actual carry. Toasty's gonna build full tank,
Right.
and we're gonna run it.
Right. Toasty's going to go for the Warmog's first item Vayne to bait them into thinking that they can kill her and then he's just going to rely on that percent max health true damage, even though he's got no attack speed.
God. This is rough. Because
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is
like
going to be interesting.
he gets ulted by Malphite, and then Malphite hits him with E, and then he has even less attack speed. And I mean, that's a wrap. Because like
Yeah, and
Nar,
Frozen Heart's pretty solid right now too. I mean, I would not be surprised to see a Frozen Heart out of Malphite pretty early.
well, the Malphite's E actually also reduces attack speed.
Sure, sure. I mean, both on top of him. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised for both of that. So, yeah, I mean, I will say, in terms of draft, it's looking pretty favored for team front to back. But this is TCL. We're an amateur league. I mean, we got a high range of players from gold to diamonds. So you never know. Maybe they just pick up early lane kills and just outplay a little bit, and they just get the lead and roll the game. You never know. Certainly can't call anything too early, but in terms of comp, definitely looking in the favor of team front to back.
Well, if somehow blue team gets like a 5K lead, assuming they can pick up like two heralds, um, red side's wave clear is actually pretty garbage.
That's true.
And Nautilus has to play in a really weird position to engage from behind, and engaging into the baby cage is basically impossible. So there is a way that blue side wins, but if they go for the early drakes, they'll lose. They have to give the first two drakes because it's going to put Zinzao behind going on them, right? You know, he wastes about like 45 seconds for the first one, 30 seconds for the second one. Bot lane loses levels, going to help him, right? Instead
Right.
of putting any pressure towards that, they make sure you get the first herald at 8 minutes, immediately drop it top, try to get some gold in the Gnar to push forward Malphite, and they can try to make a play from the top side of the map down, right? Because they'll
Yeah.
never make anything happen with Vayne Leona. You know, the best they can do is hope to not get horribly dope. But I mean, Silas Malphite, it might just be a wash. Because
Yeah.
even their win con's dubious, and that's
Right.
that's in my head. You know what I mean,
Yeah, I
like
mean, I definitely gotta agree with you, at least in terms of like Fruge's plan this game has to be just playing through the Gnar, because it's gonna be the only lane with Prio. And I mean, it'll have permanent Prio in the top lane. Malphite, I would say, is a pretty solid pick for the comp as a whole, but Malphite into Gnar is pretty unfun for the Malphite, just primarily because of, well, really two reasons: of being outranged, and on top of that, there's that nuisance of the max health magic damage shred that Gnar gets off of his W. That's a pain for Malphite to deal with when you want to just build armor. So if Fruge is playing through top lane and maybe they even dive the Malphite multiple times, they could probably get some kind of a lead up there. But like you were saying, like as much pressure as Lee Sin might have as like an early game jungler, and being good at doing early dragons, he's got Vayne and Vigar as his bot side lanes. He's just never going to have prio from his laners, so he's going to be by himself if he's trying to push towards the spot lane.
well, I think Malphite's also looking for an early game. I think he's going to go for an early Warmogs to try and shake off the poke. I've seen him play recently, and I think that's where this is going. And if that is where this is going, he's never going to be in dive range. And it's going to hurt his mid game, but it
Yeah,
doesn't, like, the mid game's not an issue as long as top just doesn't bleed out.
yeah, it'd definitely be interesting to see. I mean, you can, for anyone who doesn't know, you could do that now. You can build an early Warmogs because they did reduce the requirements for Warmogs as an item. Looks like we might end up a little bit behind the stream here as we haven't quite loaded in yet, so
Okay. I was
might
about to
have
say, because I'm in it, but I can't move the camera too well. My old man mechanics.
yeah, sorry about this, guys. The little bit of technical difficulties. We're not quite. I've seen on stream that we're going for the invade, but I'm going to be a little behind on saying that.
We can use the stream if that's.
Well,
It's
we could
looking
use the
fine.
stream. Yeah, it'll be like
I guess a
a
little
second or
delayed.
two a delay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's
So
putting up.
apologize to everyone for this little inconvenience. Hopefully, we'll get this figured out by the time. Here we go. All right, should be pretty close. Like Fruge and Tokimon will actually be finding Bully up here in the top side. The double words come down on the red buff.
I'm very confused on why we don't have Sweeper coming out when they invade, because like they would have gotten 2 wards there, which would have been enough to make Gnar go to level 2 on the first wave. So it's concerning because Gnar also has to leash after this, and Gnar's already trying to struggle to punch the rock.
Yeah, absolutely. He's even gonna be. Oh, actually, he does not miss out on any of the first minions, so that's good for him.
That's very good. Zin's got a lead in terms of clearing the jungle, and it looks like he's going to go for a 6 camp, which is super advantageous here as long as his lanes play mildly safe.
Right. Like nothing, nothing too exciting here going on. Oh, actually, bot lane does get level 2 and goes for a little bit of an engage. Nothing will happen
I think that's
because
a
of it.
questionable hook. It's one of those hooks where it's like if it landed, you're in a bad position.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, they maybe want to land a hook on Monkey and just get a couple autos just for a little damage, but yeah, definitely aren't gonna get too much out of that. Junglers will be pathing opposite of each other. Honestly, both solo lanes from the team front to back are gonna have to be a little careful here because they did both drop their wards into the top side red bush, and they're doing nothing for the team right now, as that's where Zen is. They're not too pushed in right now, so they don't have to be too careful about getting ganked immediately, but they will have to be careful for the next couple minutes or so until they have more wards available to them.
I think Bird's slow push here is actually really good in Nickelodeon. It might actually enable a double scuttle, but Lee Sin's clearing really, really slowly.
Yeah, Crittian, interestingly, has taken a load of damage. I don't think Verd was harassing him that much. I think he's just taking a ton of minion damage and still is taking minion damage.
Yeah.
Got the early base from Verd. He might just be possibly sniffing out that TJ was in the area, just maybe feeling the gank. We'll base and get the tier. That may have also been the reason he went back.
Yeah, TJ missing out on Krugs here makes sure that Fruge doesn't get punished for the way he cleared. There's no camps on the top side for TJ to take. TJ probably should have just taken the scuttle and just gone for his Krugs instead of backing here.
Yeah, and I think
him on a worse timer.
Yeah, he could have even potentially looked to maybe not at this point, but look for something top lane, as he had nothing really to do or just base, but spent some time in the enemy jungler where there was nothing to get. So it looks like despite Fruge being a little hyped initially, he will be catching up in the end.
I think he's arguably doing better here, because assuming he doesn't waste his time ganking here, he backs and he just full clears top, he'll be in a really good spot coming after this Drake. But
well, you say that, but he is looking for this gank. And it looks like he may be actually able to find something here. Oh, the Q does not connect Spirit and Fate, and Abarn will just walk out.
Even if it does, I think it's risky. I think Zin should definitely not look to fight Lee Sin here, and he should go back into his jungle.
Yeah, Zin's actually looking for the gank in the mid lane there on top of Verd. Verd has not used anything yet. He does still have the flash. He will flash out. I'm really surprised to see neither flash following from TJ or Caridian, but I guess they're just happy to get both of his summoners out and just say, okay, we're going to come back later.
Well, he's punished for not having TP here. The fact that his HP is so low actually puts Sylas in a good spot, because he needs to back and take the plate as an L rather than get doped by Sylas in the next wave, and then he's going to lose 2 waves stacked. It's really, really good that they didn't flash there. I actually very much like that. Because there's nothing on the map for them to even get. They'd be wasting time in the Drake. Lee Sin clearing here is really good too.
They will actually be coming over here with the pink ward to start up this dragon. The bot lane's going to know they're there, but Fruge is not even on this side of the map. They should be able to pick up this Drake pretty free, especially with the mid lane prio that they have right now. Spirit may be looking for a hook on Monkey. Monkey should definitely be careful here, as ADC hasn't even followed him. That will be a free Drake pickup for front to back.
I actually think that's great. Personally, like, the way this has to play out is they have to give up the first 2 Drakes, and they have to use the time that TJ wastes on taking the Drakes to scale up and have a stronger mid game, and they fight around the 3rd Drake.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they could actually get a wipe.
Fruge actually looking for a bit of an invade here. Did drop the pink ward on the top side of mid lane. TJ will actually pass just straight to his Krug, so he should be able to get away with taking these Raptor camp pretty free here.
Yeah, I love this. It's just the very small leads because he's already got a CS lead on TJ. So on top of that, he can just compound it if he keeps taking camps.
He's
This
actually
top game's
looking up in the top lane here. One thing to note from top lane is Reform Bully is down a lot of farm, but he did manage to get a base off, and Tokimon has not. Tokimon, meanwhile, does not have ult available yet. Reform Bully doesn't actually have flash, I just noticed that. I don't think they'll be able to do anything here. Yeah, Bully. Oh, Tokimon actually getting very aggressive here. TJ looking for, finally is in range for the jump. Gets the knockup on Tokimon. Tokimon getting very low. TJ flashing out of the, the late TP is coming in now from Caridian as well. Caridian, does go for the flash W, doesn't get anything. Takes the ult from the Lee Sin, but Frisian Tokimon will walk away from this just fine.
I don't know why they're playing around topside at all. It's very confusing to see any of that go down the way it did. Like, if Caridian teleports earlier, they could try and justify it, but I mean, even if
they're looking for the blue invade. Oh, the TP is actually coming through from a Reform Bully. Caridian is still in the area. He should be able to take this blue buff away. Oh, Fruge is standing a little too close and gets caught by Caridian. He had no vision there with that pink ward. That was very ambitious for him to be looking for that with Verd having 0 mana. First Blood will go over to TJ. And I gotta agree with you. I mean, I think, it was convenient for TJ to come gank there, and it didn't quite work out for him. I'd say that part was fine. The Caridian TP was definitely very ambitious. Maybe he thought Tokimon already had flash down. Maybe he thought his flash W would kill him, but regardless, he does not get what he wanted. But Fruge did stick around, and they do get something out of the play in the end.
Yeah, let's use that results-based analysis. Hey, that was a play if I've ever seen one.
Caridian's insane, man.
Yeah.
The double TP for the blue buff was pretty ridiculous.
Well, the blue buff is a ton of gold and XP off the map.
Right.
Caridian got that, I'm fairly certain, so it's actually really good for them.
Caridian's actually... actually, they're looking for a 3-man top lane. Pokemon doesn't have flash, but has the word to see this ambitious gank come out. Looks like they're... actually, in the bot lane, they find a gank from Fruge, and they're actually going to kill both. They're going to kill both bot lanes. Well, it's going to turn out opposite of what we thought was going to happen. The bot lane gank comes through for the Verdant Monkeys, and they pick up the double. Meanwhile, the top side of team front to back is taking the Rifto.
Well, we theorized that they would lose the 3v3, but if we're playing around the Malphite, and I get that Malphite fed, they can definitely lose bot. I can only imagine what Abarn's thinking right now, because I know that he definitely wanted to play around bot side for this game.
I'll tell you what Abarn's thinking. He's thinking, where's my jungler? Meanwhile, in the top lane, they've put a lot of prio into this Malphite, and really gotten Malphite nothing but an assist, which is next to nothing. And Malphite is still down 30 farm. I mean, he's gonna... This isn't even really frozen in the top lane. I mean, it'll freeze for a moment, but it's gonna push back too. Actually, Tokimon looks like he's just gonna shove it in anyways. So...
I think it's incredibly greedy to try and freeze it if we know Xin Zhao's on the bot side of the map. I mean...
honestly, if he's not careful here, if Tokimon's strong enough, if he hit if he sees Zen on the bot side of the map, which they might because they have this ward. Oh, it just ran out. If he sees Zen on the bot side of the map, he could very well just dive Bully here, but it looks like Bully might feel that and is going to be basing here.
I think Gnar should just hard push lanes until he sees Malphite back, and then go and take the wraps away from Xin Zhao. This is a great point to put TJ further behind by having top lead pressure. Just walk in his jungle and just steal anything you can at any point. And I mean, that's their win con. They can definitely get in out of this because blue side.
TJ actually getting caught out by 4 members. He has no flash up. TJ should be going down here pretty freely. Monkey will get the stun. Oh, TJ gets blown up. Verd will pick up the kill there. Not totally sure what he was doing, just walking straight down mid lane with that Herald. Maybe he thought he was going to drop it, but Team Verdant Monkeys sees him there. Oh, Monkey actually going for the engage on Bully. Stun from Verd does not quite connect. Caridian with a... Oh, man. Okay, Fruge just goes in and gets Malphite ulted immediately. And then Caridian goes in as well. What are they doing? They're trying... Okay, they almost had a pick on Fruge there. And it initially was good until he flashed out, and then they just tried way too hard to follow up. And this is just going heavily in the favor of Verdant Monkeys, except for the fact that TJ... This has gone on long enough that TJ is up again and will be running to this dragon.
So, Gnar has ulti here. I honestly, I
I think
like
they
that they
can
didn't.
stay.
I think they could stay. However, I was about to say I like
They
the
are
fact that
gonna
they didn't.
stay. They're staying. They're looking for this Pokemon ult. There are some important ults down from the side of front to back. The engage comes through. Monkey goes in a little bit by himself. Oh, the Gnar ult comes through and gets the huge stun on multiple members. Tokimon carrying that fight for his team. Reform Bully will end up... Oh, Reform Bully will... Okay, Reform Bully will go down. Fruge here fighting Abarn. Abarn will go
Oh,
down as well. They're not quite able to finish Fruge. A huge fight goes over for the Verdant Monkeys.
so front to back is supposed to get this Drake. Like
Oh,
in the
Crittian
wave
actually
hunt.
comes through and finds a pick on Monkey. I don't
Oh
think
no.
it'll... I don't think Toasty can actually chase this. Okay. Well, I was gonna say he might have actually... Wow, okay. That's... Save... Saving the dragon for Bird to queue it. Gotta say, that's pretty ambitious to do, but I guess it worked. Results-based analysis, right?
Yeah, I think the baby cage should have come down in Caridian because Caridian definitely griefed there. Actually, I think that was certainly Hardent, and there was no punishment, which greatly confused me. Please don't die. Bird.
Yeah, I mean... I think maybe if he picks Monkey there and then they run him down. I mean, obviously it worked, right? He got the kill. He got out just fine, but no one really collapsed on him. I think they just wanted to finish the drag. Oh, Monkey actually coming in here for the collapse on Crittian. Oh, he flashes through, connects the E. Both Lee Sin ults will come out, both from Crittian and the Lee Sin. That's a really far dropped away Herald. I don't know if that was just about to run out or not, but this Herald may not even get a charge with both the members here. Gets the second hit of the eye. Yeah, that's just a complete wasted Herald. This game is going massively in the favor of the Verdant Monkeys.
You know, it's a struggle for me to speak too soon. You know, in these games, but I definitely, I think that the mental is definitely corroded for front to back
Yeah.
right now. Like there's no way they're playing it 100%, and the longer this game goes on, I don't think they can win at this point. I think the longer the game goes on, the worse their mental will get.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think at this point, I wouldn't say... I mean, it's pretty early to be thinking about the next game. I think they just need to calm down a little bit the plays, especially Caridian. I think Caridian, well, TJ too, Caridian and TJ both, I think are just looking for a little too much here when they're just down gold and members, which granted you may not know you're down members, but even so, they're just looking for a lot of plays that just are not working out. Say if you're front to back right now, you need to just cut your losses, sit back and farm, and just hope you can find some picks or something.
I think that there's two ways to look at this. I think one, if you think you know, 3-item Abarn equals 5-item Toasty, you wait for late game, or you realize that this game is absolutely washed unless you find value. Like I
Right.
think that the front to back is probably looking at like a 20% win rate right now, and has to find something. So
I will say, look at this vision from the Verdant Monkeys. I mean, they just have this whole area just completely covered. That's... I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. We don't always see that in TCL, just having a consistently lit up map from one side of the team. But I think that's also a large part of how they've managed to get the advantage in this game, is they've just had numbers advantage consistently, and they've known they've had numbers advantage consistently.
between that and you know, blue side taking camps, I mean, like it sounds like such a forehead thing to say, but I mean, like,
Oh, Crittian. Oh, Crittian almost caught again. Will manage to get out from Fruge. TJ kind of looking for this. TJ, you do not want this. Once again, they're down numbers. They're on top of TJ. TJ is just weaker than Fruge right now. Oh, Crittian steals the Leona ult. Oh, and then gets kicked right back out. Reform Bully coming in with the ultimate. TJ goes down to the Vigar ult. The bot lane. Oh, double flash. Well, good flashes there from oh, Crittian. This is some chaos right here. Bot lane, both bot lanes come up. Good flashes there from Bird and Fruge. They saw the bot lane from TM or whatever, front to back. Can't even remember the team's acronyms right now. Regardless, they got the advantage there. They got the kill on TJ, and they will be able to turn it into another Herald here.
I think front to back may have come to this game with too much ego and underestimated their opponent.
Oh, absolutely.
But between like the plays that they're taking and the fact that Nar is up, I mean, this is rough.
Yeah.
They're definitely getting. They may actually bounce back pretty hard the second and third games though.
Yeah, honestly, if the game keeps going this way, this is going to be possibly the biggest stomp in TCL we've seen this season. This is very, very heavily favored. They will be getting, I mean, a tiny bit of comp here from grabbing this bot turret, but if no one's helping Bully on this top lane, they're actually just going to lose an inhib here. Critian will be basing, but I'm not sure if this will... Oh, he's actually just going to engage on Bully. They know that he has no ulti. Monkey, well played, knowing the cooldown's just picking off Bully, and with that pick, they're going to... Okay, they don't they don't want the fight too much. They want to just get the charge off on the Herald, but even so, I'd say they probably could have just popped the tower there if they really wanted to.
I think they need to back early, because so essentially what they did with that Herald is they pulled everybody off the bot side of the map as the Drake is about to come up. Then they get their own backs off, and red team has to run there while blue side gets backs and health and cooldowns to run back in.
Yeah, and I mean, they did also use a number of cooldowns on killing Bully. Probably just saying, you know what, we won this again. Don't want to go for anything too ambitious. Don't want to give anything back to team front to back. However, they did end up at the Dragon first. They may be able to take this away. Fruge is here. This will come down to a 50-50. TP coming through from Tokimon. Smite goes through early for Fruge. Gets taken by front to back. The fight will ensue. Toasty going in very ambitiously over the wall. Toasty kind of throwing that fight a little bit. This is huge for front to back. Gnar ult comes through from Caridian. They pick off Verd. That's a bunch of shutdowns over. I gotta say, they probably should have just given the drag. I mean, Fruge goes in, doesn't get the steal. They see he doesn't get the steal. They continue on the fight. I believe Toasty actually just flashed the wall there and gets immediately killed by TJ and Bully. That's a huge throw. I mean, they're still pretty darn ahead this game, but if you're going to throw... Oh, the ult is still up from Tokimon. They're going for Abarn here. The fight continues. They aren't able... Oh, they're still chasing Abarn. Abarn's 1 HP now. Caridian trying his best to save Abarn. He blocks the Q. Caridian may end up... No, Caridian will be fine for this. Well played there by Caridian to stay in front of that Q.
I think that...
This is some chaos, man.
Well, I think that Monkey's team can lose this, because Drake has got their win con.
Oh, absolutely. They just gave down... They just gave like 4 shutdowns back there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they look at that fight, so they back, they have all their gold, they have all their buys. Malphite has no TP, no ult. They ignore the Drake, they walk around, and they go for, like, Verd got like a 4-man baby cage. Like, that should have been an absolute wipe. I just can't believe they went for the Drake is the issue.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta decide which play you want to go for. I mean, they weren't so massively... That fight was obviously throwable, and they threw it. So they had to decide, are we going to let Fruge going to try and steal, or are we going to just take the ensuing fight afterwards? Instead, they have Fruge try and steal, and obviously when your jungler goes in 1v5 to try and steal, he's just going to die. So they know they're going to do a 4v5, they accept the 4v5, and they throw the fight afterwards as well. And once again, I hate to call him out like this, like so specifically, but at the same time, I feel like Toasty just flashed the wall into the enemy jungler's face and got blown up that fight. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah, he definitely ate quite a few knockups there.
We actually have 4 members from front to back running up here towards Tokimon. Tokimon is not Mega yet and does not have Flash. TJ will be taking a little bit of damage here. Oh, he does manage to hit Mega, but it won't matter. He will just go down. Almost actually kills TJ, but won't matter. That's another kill over back to front to back.
Blue team is going to cheese here, actually. I really
like
this cheese.
See if they do find someone or not.
Malphite ult is up, though. So
Malphite maybe feels... I think he just got lucky in his team calling him to stay top with him there, because if he walked through there, he was dead. But they will stay around and take the tower. Trying to give Abarn a taste of his own medicine with the cheese bush, but does not end up happening. I mean, at this point, this is 100% back to a fairly even game. I mean, I know there's a 2k deficit still, but we were talking about the comp diff from front to back. I mean, I think the comp diff and the 1 dragon definitely makes up for majority, if not all, of that 2k gold lead.
I would agree with you if they weren't skating past mid-game right here, because this mid-game is where blue side is supposed to essentially end the game. Like, as soon as they killed that top laner, they should have pressed in the Baron with their Kraken Slayer Kaisa, and they did not. So this is kind of at a point where Verd is looking at 30 minutes on Veigar, and Abarn has to start considering like different itemizations to try and
Right.
survive this.
Yeah, I will say it's definitely by no means looking bad for the Verdant. The bad part is that they gave so much back, but even despite all of that, they still have both their very strong late game carries being at 3, 1, and 5. Over across the map, they've now given 2 extra towers. Gonna have to be a little careful because they don't have the advantage that they had with those towers in the early game. Towers are
Yeah,
evened out at this point.
it's just I I think Monkey's team is actually the comp diff only mattered towards mid game, and I'm not seeing red side do anything with it. I actually think that blue side's comp is going to overtake them probably in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think with as early of a lead that they got, I think they're still totally looking favored to win this game. Especially I'm looking at both really Malphite having not completed an item yet, but also TJ looking behind the Lee Sin. I mean, he does have a little bit of a farm lead, but Lee Sin just got so much more out of that early game that I think I agree. I definitely think Verdant Monkeys is still favored here, but Fruge may actually be walking into a pick here.
I think
no, they
this
will
is
not. Oh,
if I've
Monkey
ever seen one.
Spirit finds a hook, but probably didn't want that. Oh, the stuns, both stuns miss as Spirit of Fate flashes out. We will just be looking for the straight 5v5 here at this dragon.
Flash is up for Lee. I think this is going to be a high pressure situation on A-Barn with this flash not up.
Yeah, I mean, all big cooldowns. Actually, I didn't notice Toasty ulted there. I'm not sure what exactly for, but majority of the big cooldowns are available for both teams here. So we're going to see a pretty crazy fight. Looks like Dragon will actually just go straight over to red team. Critting steals. Oh, the Malphite ult comes through. They do find Vayne and are going to kill him very quickly. Oh, that's a good Gnar ult from Caridian. Another good Gnar ult to follow up. The Tokemon's kind of left in the dust, binding himself here. Will just get picked off. They're going to keep running down this kill. Oh, Verd gets hooked, and that will be him going down. Fruge, in the meantime, is being run down. Monkey as well. They cannot turn on him. Oh, Fruge tries to turn on him. They look to pick him off. Do not quite finish his health bar. The last tick of Ignite will bring him down. But that should still be a Baron and a 5-for-1 for the side of team front to back. What a fight. I mean, I think that's what I was talking about in terms of comp diff. I mean, Tokimon was a little too, I don't know if I want to say late. I mean, they just got the engage on him, right? I mean, typically when you have a bunch of big ult cooldowns and you get the initial engage, if you kill a couple people, that tends to turn out better for you, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, they killed Vayne right away. Vayne could do nothing that fight. Verd doesn't have the damage yet to just melt through the front line.
I mean, Toki had Mega, he had ult, and he was looking at a 4-man stun with Kaisa not having flash until that chase at the end there. That was an engage. Like, Toki just did not take it until it was too late. You know, I think that was actually super favorable for blue team, and they're probably screaming at Tokimon to engage, and he's probably just looking for a better engage than what he saw. But I mean, the 3 to 4-man ult into a wall, if you don't take that, I mean, yeah, you're gonna take an L. But
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. And I gotta say, I don't totally know what they were looking for, because I saw a number of those members just kind of on this top side of the river here, and they kind of just let front to back finish the dragon without contention, and then also just let front to back initiate that fight. I mean, they got to be a little proactive. I mean, it's hard to tell in game when you have a lead and what kind of a lead you had, but even so, they should feel that both their carries are strong and they should be looking for something. Oh, Critting actually will solo Tokimon in the pot lane here. I personally missed that. I apologize.
I mean, even playing reactively here, like, they could just wait for them to finish the Drake, right? They drop their cooldowns into drag to try and not get it stolen, and then they engage on them. I mean, this is from this point on, like, there's almost no way to come back unless red team takes the Baron, or takes the Drake, has no idea how to end, and then coin flips the Eld. But that is basically every TCL game, so...
Yeah, maybe. You never know, man. I mean, this game, despite the huge swing and despite the very large difference in comps at any point in the game, still anyone's game at this point, although no one is here defending this mid lane.
Yeah, this is...
Although they are collapsing on Abarn. Abarn does not have cooldowns up aside from his ulti. Fruge will look for it, but just gets immediately blown up. Verd looking for the kill on the Abarn is not able to quite find him. Verd actually going really hard for Abarn and just getting blown up there. Monkey will be left behind by himself in the middle of 4 members. They find Abarn, which is good, but you can't commit that heavily to him. I think Verd threw that a little bit there by just going way too hard for Abarn. He does find him, but then he's just down for the rest of the fight. I mean, they don't have... I will say they only have 1 ranged member to attack the tower, and that's Abarn. So that's a little good for them in terms of stalling, but Spirit of Fate actually looking for a hook onto a turning Mega Gnar. Critting and splitting in the top side. We'll get a turret with that Baron buff. Looks like they will not actually get an inhib off of this particular Baron play, which is pretty important, I think, for Verdant Monkeys.
Well, I think that Bird did grief a little there. You know, results-based analysis. Yeah, he took the only ranged character, so I guess no inhib. I mean, I feel like Silas pushes mid with them, and they look for a dive because Malphite ult was up, but...
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, I think you still have a massive advantage there, and Toasty, as strong as he is right now, he's not, like, I mean, you still one-shot him, even without ults up. You just get 1 catch on him, and you have 4 people that will just blow him up. And the other member was Tokimon, and he wasn't Mega yet.
I mean, it's flashless main, you know?
Right.
Struggling.
Looks like they will be maybe looking for another engage here. Critting. Oh, Critting looking over the wall there. TB coming through from Bully. Good cage there from Verd, immediately stunning him. Tokimon getting a little too close. Not quite Mega. Will be going in. Is killed before he could actually get the ult off. That would have been a strong ult, but this fight should just be won for team front to back here. Toasty doing what he can. TJ getting very aggressive, actually blowing up Toasty. The rest of the members will just go down from Verdant Monkeys. There's nothing to be done here. Oh man, what a close to being potentially a good fight for Verdant Monkeys, but just lost. Oh, Fruge, you are... Fruge can't be here right now.
I think that the teleport ult out of Malphite is pretty telegraphed. I think what frustrates me most here is I mean, this is Drake's soul, but I think we could just like bust down an inhib, maybe 2 inhibs actually, and then off that let blue team scramble for the inhibs and then take the Drake.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, generally when you are ahead and you get a wipe, if you can't end, you want to just go for inhibs and then fall back on the objectives, especially if you wipe the enemy team with all of your members alive and you don't need to recall immediately. I mean, in the end, they will still get both the inhib towers, so they can come back and finish those inhibs later, so perhaps not the most effective way to push their advantage, but they do still push their advantage.
It's just concerning for me because, you know, Verd has finished his dons now, and they're just about 30 minutes, and their inhibs aren't... I mean, they've done a lot of damage, but it's not critical damage. They grief a little bit at the Baron, and I mean, it's anybody's game, which disgusting enough to say.
Yeah, and the right, the despite being, what's that, like 8k ahead, the Mountain Soul won't even matter that much with the amount of damage coming out. It's just going to be a matter of finding the right fights for the Verdant Monkeys. They need some kind of an engage, and big Gnar ult into stun cage or vice versa. Regardless, I think they need to be a little more proactive in these fights. I think Tokimon was maybe trying to look to be proactive in that fight, and just got killed before he could be, but...
Certainly, I mean, we're seeing a flash ult on Tokimon, and we're seeing a flash ult on Fruge. So I mean, this is if we're gonna see the comeback, it's now. Yeah.
Right, especially with a potential botched Baron play, which it looks like they are just giving Baron to look for the split pusher, which they won't even get because he just oh, okay, Critting's
griefing.
Critting's being very great. He was out and he decided to go back in. He actually might kill Verd here with as close as Verd was. Critting doing what he can to get out, but he's got 5 members on him now. Toasty doing a lot of damage. Yeah, they get the shutdown to Toasty. That's pretty important for them. They will still lose this inhib here, but I mean, they should have lost the inhib before anyway, so getting some gold back is pretty nice. Oh, Tokimon actually gets hooked, and Tokimon will just get immediately blown up. The Malphite ult comes through and connects onto the Vayne. Vayne will actually go down because the Abarn's so fed, and I think that'll be game. Oh, he connects with Verd. Multiple cooldowns coming down to finish off Verd. That'll be game with the Baron buff for team front to back.
I mean, the pick was huge.
Oh my goodness, what are they doing? Oh, they're getting Abarn the Penta, I see. I would say that looked like a huge grief to me, throwing a couple kills away to just finish Fruge, but they aren't getting Avar and his pentakill.
I just
So
don't know why Monkey's team path that way. Like they just path through their bot inhib and they go to the Twin Towers. Like this is a game, right? Like Silas absolutely hard griefed by getting picked here.
yeah,
And
I mean, I think Tokimon was maybe looking for an engage, but he's not Mega. I mean, you can do that if you're Mega and you can jump right in and fight right away, but he wasn't.
yeah, I mean they couldn't engage period there. They just take the fact that the enemy team can't engage under the towers and they play for Bird Baby Cage.
Yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate sight, I'd say, to see the Verdant Monkeys be up so far ahead. I mean, they're up like 5K in like 15, 20 minutes and then throw the lead away. Very unfortunate, but that's the way TCL happens sometimes. So we will get into a little break here and be back for the second match.
Keep moving on. Keep moving on. And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
Welcome back, everyone, to an intense night of League, as you may have seen. Lots of back and forth in that last game. It's like we will be switching sides as normal, unlike last night where we had both teams on the same side all 3 games. So front to back, we'll have the first pick this time. 12-inch, you got any got any thoughts maybe for what these teams should do going into the second draft?
I mean, they shouldn't let Toasty get pinched. I think is probably the primary move here. I think Toasty needs to be on a pick where he has, like, I mean, Vayne has agency. It's a lot of pressure. Like if I were to compare it with my own team, like when I put Jet, like when I force Jet to carry, Jet probably won't carry. But if I uh, make other people carry, and then Jet can carry, then he performs well, right? Like you can't just say A Barn or not A Barn, Toasty. You have to kill everything. Yeah, that's a lot of stress.
Right. Absolutely. I gotta agree with you. I mean, they need to, as many ADC bans came down, and even the pick coming through early from A-Barn. I mean, that was a lot of the like quality ADC picks that exist right now. And Toasty definitely got it. And I don't want to, I don't want to blame Toasty specifically for that game, but I feel like he definitely could have done more, I think, with that lead early on than Vayne can in general as champion if he had something like the Kaisa or whatever. Looks like we may be seeing a pretty similar draft here, which is a little surprising. Same band so far, so we'll see if anything gets switched up.
I think not banning the Gnar is pure ego. I really don't like to see it. I think the Gnar should definitely go down. I think they should also stop banning
especially, yeah, I agree with that one. Especially with I mean, he never died to the Gnar top lane, but he was down like 50 CS, and that's with his teammates coming up and helping support him. I mean,
so many ganks.
you either need a better pick into that Gnar or you need to ban it. Because as good as Malphite was, like, in the general comp, and I think it really was, it doesn't matter how good a pick is if you're down just 50 farm to the supposed, lower elo, whatever you want to call it about the enemy teammates. I mean, Tokimon's not their main carry, right? So you need to take advantage of where you can. I think that's actually the exact same draft as last time. Excuse me, exact same ban phase from last time for both teams, which really surprises me.
If Toasty uses his flash to gap close closer to Malphite, again, I mean, maybe the Malphite is just the broken pick.
Yeah, maybe it's not so much for the comp as it is specifically for Toasty.
Well, why is this Kaisa up again? I'm not sure. Like,
I'm not sure either. I mean, Abron's known as like Kaisa's his main ADC. He's been that way for years, and I know people have known Abron for years, but I mean, even for all 3 TCL seasons, and multiple of these players have been in all 3 TCL seasons, so I'm surprised to see Abron getting his Kaisa yet again, especially with other ADCs being banned. Interesting Xayah pick, though, for Toasty. I don't think Xayah is a bad ADC right now, but she's certainly not.
It's a counter matchup. Kaisa counters Xayah. Like, this isn't... this.
Is that the case? I don't know my ADC
Yeah,
matchups.
yeah, I mean, he just ults behind her after she ulties, and then she can't root. Like, this is...
yeah, that does make sense.
I just don't... They just put Toasty on a counter matchup against Abarn's main champ. Like, this is psychotic.
Yeah, maybe they're just thinking of they like want a safer pick for him or something, so that if there's like a Malphite or something you can ult. I don't know. Similar draft coming through from front to back, picking up the Xin Zhao here for, actually maybe even picking up the Silas again as well. Diana, meanwhile, coming through for Fruge, which I don't know if we've actually seen a Diana jungle yet. I know we've seen a couple of mid lanes, but I am excited to see Fruge's Diana jungle.
I mean, they don't even ban Gnar here, right? They keep Silas up. I think they should have kept Silas. They should have played it into the Gnar, and they should have just used that as an engage again into Xayah Diana. Like, Diana is so much weaker than is this a flex, or do you know for sure it's on Fruge?
Verd, I'm like 90% sure Verd wouldn't play Diana mid unless he's doing something new that I don't know about. Pretty sure it's a Fruch Diana.
Because I don't think she wins like pre-6 versus Zen. I don't think she wins post-6 versus Zen for that matter, but
Yeah, I don't think she wins until like level 11 against Zen. Starts to get some items and can just one-shot him. Thresh coming through for Monkey. I just say I think that's a good pick for him. Not that his Leona wasn't good, because it was, and he did find plays to make on that champ, but I think traditionally, at least for TCL specifically, Thresh has been a big playmaking champ for Monkey, so hopefully we'll see some big plays from him here.
well, they have to give him a pick that lets him play his mechanical prowess. Putting
Right.
him on the Leona is just, you know, he's better than that. He's your marquee player. You have to make him outplay Abarn, right? Up until Nautilus picks up the bell item. It's the one that cleanses CC off the hook. And until
The
then,
kills.
yeah.
Yeah, a little surprised to see they didn't go ahead and take that Gnar for Tokimon in the first rotation, and so it will finally get banned from front to back. At least they were willing to ban it second round. Cassiopeia ban from Caridian. I'm a little surprised to see the priority on the Cassiopeia ban from Caridian. I don't think that's been... I mean, Silas and Azir have definitely been his, from what I've seen, bigger priority mid lanes. Maybe I'm missing something, but...
I mean,
second ban actually coming through onto Tokimon from the Shen.
I wasn't super impressed by Caridian's Azir the
I
last time we saw it. So
I don't think anyone should have been super impressed by this year. Not that it was like terrible, but there was definitely some iffy.
I mean, 25% shuffle hit ratio is
Hey
pretty
man,
rough.
that one I saw one. Oh my. Oh no.
This is ego. This is pure
Oh
ego.
no. Oh man.
You know, Bully has no picks into this, and you know, Toki, short of actually running it down, this is a free top lane where Toki can actually have an impact.
Yeah,
being
it's
their lowest ranked
definitely...
player.
I'm just a little worried for him. It's definitely a good game to be playing Darius. I mean, they've got multiple frontline people to stack up on. You aren't going to get just kited to the ends of the earth by like a Karma or a Lulu. So it's definitely not a bad Darius game by any means. I think this is Tokimon's debut Darius game in TCL, so I'm a little... We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Mordekaiser Darius is a...
super volatile lane. I mean, this
yeah,
is,
it's a skill matchup. It can go either way for sure.
well, you know, if it's a skill matchup, these two against each other, you know, it's gonna be a slap fight, boys. Strap in.
Hey man, they both suck, so we'll get a ton of kills. Just kidding. I gotta get my hits back where I can. These guys have both flamed me preseason, so.
Caridian on Victor, I think bar none, front to back just absolutely demolished this draft. I think this draft is not as lopsided as last one, but man, Zaya and Akaisa, Monkey better play his ass off to try and make this one work.
Right. I do think the Victor pick is solid, but I am pretty shocked he didn't go for the Azir this game. I mean, Azir's just great against Diana and Darius. Just push him right off. I mean, Diana can't really engage effectively with her ulti if Azir is just ready to ult her off as soon as he sees it.
Victor's pretty weak here, actually. I think he's by far the weakest pick on their team, but I think
Oh,
they
absolutely.
pitched Caridian so hard that he just...
His Azir is up. I mean, I don't know why he didn't pick Azir. It's not like Azir... I mean, Vel'Koz should be pretty comfortable for Azir. I mean, I don't play Azir, but I do play Vel'Koz, and I can't say I'm thrilled to see a Azir if I were Vel'Koz. I'd rather face a Victor as Vel'Koz than Azir.
If I remember correctly, Vel'Koz is like a 59% win rate or a 60% win rate into Azir. I actually don't think that's very good for Azir.
Maybe I'm just wrong then.
I think Caridian... I think that's actually a pretty large outplay, because I don't see Verd on Vel'Koz very much.
Verd actually has done a decent amount of Vel'Koz.
The more I look at Monkey's team, I actually think this is... I think this is like a contestable draft, actually. I don't know. The taste in my mouth from the last draft is just so... made me biased, I think. But I think the draft is actually okay. Yeah, Monkey's got to perform, but it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be pretty back and forth again, I'd say. I mean, I think there's definitely potential from any point in, and except for maybe bot lane. I think it's going to be pretty. If the matchup's as bad as you're saying, and I can definitely see it based on how you've described it.
Well, the
Aside
pre-6
from
topside is won by Monkeys, and the pre-6, like the pre-6, I mean, like the 2v2 pre-6 topside wins. On the side of Monkeys, like Darius would obliterate them here,
I think
assuming.
so. I mean, in the purest sense of just thinking of the matchups, I'd agree. If Darius can get far enough, like can get into like his stack state, I just would see the potential, depending on like if it's level 3 and Mordekaiser gets a pull on him, I feel like they could just possibly even blow him up before he can do anything against those two.
It's true. So Dyna would have to play proactive rather than reactive. I mean,
Yeah.
Zin would have to do the same thing though. So I think
I think
they have to play through top. Actually, this is a weird game. Actually, even though bots like counter matchup.
I think the top lane 2v2 and even the 1v1 could go either way, and I agree. I think top lane's really important here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of fighting in the top lane this game. Should be interesting though. I mean, who doesn't love a good old top lane's wet noodle fight?
Well, also mid is really safe for Verd, but really dangerous for Caridian.
Yeah.
So Fruge has like a lot of options here actually, and TJ's got top. He either plays through bully or it's it because you're not going to be ganking Thresh until it's a dive, and if it's a dive, it is Zaya. This is, I mean, it's a counter match, but I guess if you're playing them weak side, it's okay until mid game.
Yeah,
So,
I think Thresh also definitely helps the counter matchup, and like Zaya's just like so safe here between her ulti and the Thresh Lantern.
Yep.
So we'll see how this goes, but I gotta say, just straight out of draft, I like the overall draft better than I liked it last time. I still am not. I don't think either of us are understanding. Just giving Abar and Kaisa without any contention whatsoever. But aside from that, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Pokemon actually opting for the Ghost instead of the TP in the top lane. Actually, no TP from Verd either, going for the barrier. So this will be a double TP for front to back versus a no TP for the Verdant Monkeys.
Okay, the immediate pause. I like this.
Immediate pause, yeah.
The APM required for this is actually pretty high, so I think this points towards a good start for whichever team started it. I assume it's Verd's team because he hasn't moved off plat.
Possibly. We don't know who hasn't moved off on the other side. Who knows? Yeah, I gotta say, it is a little bold of Pokemon to pick Darius while I am casting, unless he's just expecting to be very scrutinized by me, because that will happen. I will be analyzing the Darius play at a high diamond level, even though I know he's gold 4 or whatever he is right now.
I think we can actually compare this to the last Darius and a Mordekaiser matchup we saw in TCL, and we can use that as kind of like a base for how the side's going to go.
Oh boy.
No, too soon.
Oh boy, definitely too soon.
I'm thinking.
Looks like our stream isn't able to see the. Good thing it's paused because stream can't see the game yet. From what I'm seeing. Oh, now we're unpaused. Oh boy. Well, hope you guys can see it soon. We are unpaused. Actually, game's a little frozen for me now.
The game is also frozen for me, but I think that that might be the best for my mental.
True. If this is just the result of the game.
Can we coin flip it? Flip a coin. Hell yeah. That's a pre-30-minute game if I've ever seen one. All right, it's moving for me. Can we see
it looks like it looks. I don't know if we can see it on stream yet or not, but looks like they're still just looking at us instead of anything. I'm sure Wally's trying to figure that out. We'll just cast for you guys regardless, though, whether you can see it or not, and you'll just have to enjoy it.
We're looking at an invade from blue team. It's exactly
that's right.
what I'd love to see.
Oh, actually, the hook lands onto Monkey. might not actually have to flash. Oh, Monkey is taking a long route around back to... Okay, he does just go ahead and flash out. Well played there from Spirit. Snags Monkey with a hook.
That was
No,
a bad.
No, don't
Personally,
exit. No, stop that. Okay.
Minions have spawned.
Well, yeah, I don't know what to do for Wally here. Looks like the stream's struggling to see us or see the game. All right, well, we're gonna get no cast for a while. Go ahead and leave if you need to. We may just need. Oh wait, we may need to just spectate. Although if they can't see us regardless, or if they can't see the game regardless, that's a problem. All right, sorry everyone. We're gonna be waiting here for a second as we figure this out. Yeah. In the meantime, how was your day, dude?
it was pretty good. You know, I do enjoy a quality cast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that
Okay, we can see game a little bit again here. Still
yeah,
nothing
right.
happening. Hey, there we go. There we go. We're back for the stream as well as the game. We can cast again. No need to hear about Raymond's day.
Fog Chin.
We got opposite side starts yet again, except Fruge will be taking the red buff level 1 and then going directly to the Krugs.
So this could actually trigger Abarn pretty hard because, well, he let TJ get a leash, he let TJ go top, and Toki's got Ghost, so Toki just plays back here. Then full clears into a gank bot around like 345, and it could actually be a fight because like they should be putting pressure on Thresh here. As soon as they got that flash, they should have cleared top down.
Oh, the hook connects again with the Thresh, and Monkey has no flash this time.
Okay.
Ignite will come out. It will not quite be able to finish Monkey off. See if he ends up basing here or not. He kind of needs to, but kind of can't. I mean, this is a really dangerous amount of HP to be on. He does have biscuits, so he should be able to stay over time, but definitely looking really good for Abarn and Spirit here.
Spirit just getting a dastardly ward in there. That's so much information.
He's gonna
Now,
immediately find Diana too on that ward.
Yeah, Togemon's under so much pressure now. They should have called the roam from Nautilus.
Yeah, very well played from Spirit and Abarn here. We're really from Spirit. Spirit's the one putting all the work in. Forget Abarn. Landing the hooks, putting the ward down.
Wow. Is Scrooge not AoEing his autos, or am I crazy? Supposed to be AoE?
Oh, well, the third one's every third's AoE, right? I don't think the regulars are.
Yeah, he's got to stack the buff in the Krug. It doesn't matter. All right.
I was a little surprised there actually to not see Spirit roam up towards that, because, I mean, he's doing it oh, the hook actually lands for Monkey now, and the Unite comes out as well. The heal comes out from Abarn immediately. It looks like the flash came out too. My stream is slightly laggy here, so I apologize if I see things incorrectly, but good trade there back from Monkey. Monkey trying to get a little bit back for his bot lane there, and it does work out in their favor, getting some sums out of Abarn.
I mean, this is excellent.
Xin Zhao actually in the top lane, if we could get a look at that, getting a gank onto Darius immediately. Darius is 5-stacked onto... Oh, Darius did get the 5-stack onto...
Diana's
Diana's mid. We got another gank coming out immediately. Looks like Crittian should be fine because he still has flash. Yeah, there won't be enough range from
And I think
Diana
also took Xin Zhao's Raptors there, which puts her in a really good spot. If top hadn't died, they'd be...
Yeah, Xin Zhao getting that kill back is pretty huge for him. That and Tokimon has no TP to get back to this wave, so he's probably actually going to miss both of it. Fight happening in the bot line. Oh, Monkey actually finishing off. The flash comes through from Nautilus. He won't be able to finish him, and Nautilus will actually go down. You know what? Results-based analysis, right? This Wayne is just winning for Toasty and Monkey.
Well, I mean, Monkey plays a little hard out there. I felt like Toasty should have been a little more aggressive, but I mean, it worked out, so I mean, I'm not complaining too hard, but yeah, Spirit flashing definitely with the crying over spilled milk there. He just had to let that one go.
Wow, we're already looking at a 650 gold lead for Toasty. That is huge for him in this lane. And at this point, Tokimon needs to never die. Like, he's got both his thumbs down with his bot lane already winning this hard and being up farm and stuff. Like, he needs to just never die again in the top lane. And this game should be a lot easier for them if that happens, but we'll see. I mean, he's already pushed up again without some, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Zen up there again very shortly.
I would also get Sweeper if I were him. Like, if he ever gets in a shoving position, you know, he clears out vision and then he goes to maybe take his jungler's Krugs.
Yeah, I'd
Like,
be
anything
putting...
to keep it off the map.
If he's going to shove in like that, I'd be buying pinks on repeats that you can put your ward deep in the enemy jungle and then just put your pink in the bush, which he does put the ward in the enemy jungle, which I do like. He's got to be a little careful as he's got no vision around his backside.
I don't think he's got the economy to keep pinks up, actually. I think the red trait to clear vision and cut your losses there, because that's a gold plus on top of denying vision.
Sure, possibly. I'm just thinking like, if, and you know, maybe this isn't gold, but if you're looking at his position, your goals just never die again, I wouldn't worry too much about gold gain, at least until you're I'd get a pink at least until your sums are back up, but even so, looks like he should still be fine here as Mordekaiser's pushed back in. Meanwhile, we're looking at once again some pretty excellent vision control. Already put 3 pinks down around this dragon. Zinxiao will be looking for a gank in mid lane. They're already starting this dragon. But they actually see mid lane gank happening and are all rushing straight there. It looks like they did finish off Bird. I don't think we got to see that, but Fruge will be looking for the engage here. Finds the ult. The Zinxiao ult will come through. An excellent play there from Monkey. Zinxiao ult will knock Diana back, but it's not far enough. The Diana ult still pulls them in, and that will be a huge pickup. Toasties now, I think, 3-0, and they will get this dragon. This is huge for Bird Monkeys.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, look, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch after last game, but I mean, this is like Blue Side couldn't let this happen. You know,
yeah, this is bad.
I don't want to say this is.
I mean, obviously, based on last game, we can't say whether it's game or not, but it's certainly very, very comfortable for Verdant Monkeys here, with Fruge being pretty... I mean, he didn't get any kills there, but the double assist and already being up in farm, Fruge is going to be strong this game. Toasty's already massive this game, being up 1k on A-Barn, which 1k might not sound like a lot, but he's literally got 50% more gold than A-Barn does right now. This is going to... Verd's down a little bit in farm, but the way it's pushing back to him, I mean, across the board, this is looking pretty nice for Verdant Monkeys.
Yeah, I mean, Diana clears harder than Zen. Clear. Make it to like, I don't know, 23 minutes, give the next Drake, and we're chilling. I mean... The biggest liability is going to be Toki having Ghost instead of TP.
Yeah, I'd say the double TPs might turn out a hassle for them at some point, but you know, when you got a gold lead, it matters much if you have someone show up that's not that strong. And at least for this top lane matchup, like Tokimon's up a little bit of farm, and Bully didn't get that kill from the gank, so in reality, they're pretty dead even right now in the top lane. So once his sums are back up, I wouldn't actually be surprised if we saw Tokimon killing Bully at some point.
I think a kill might be a little ambitious through a Bramble, but it is not a Tabby, so it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Bramble's definitely good, but I think depending on, at this point, what Tokimon is maxing second once he hits level 8, I mean, if you start maxing that E, the armor just doesn't matter. It's like junglers will be repeating their buffs here. It looks like Ceridian did actually, I think, take that blue buff. Looks like we'll see if Fruge decides to donate that blue buff to Verd or not.
Fruge
not considering. Yeah, he might not considering he's Diana. I just know Verd will certainly want it. Yeah, Verd's got plenty of mana. I'm just saying Verd certainly will want it. So we'll see how comps go for that one. TJ actually starting up on the Herald here in the top lane. He's got to be pretty careful with this. I don't think they see him on it directly, but his top laner's just straight up not there. So Darius is just coming down and checking. He does have the pink for it. Darius finds him. Mordekaiser are actually TPing to that pink ward. Oh, Tokimon, you definitely get away from that. You got the TP out. Actually, they found Ceridian in the mid lane with the 3-man. I don't know if Monkey was even...
I saw the TP down. It was it, right?
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if Monkey was even necessary there. I feel like Fruge probably just came in and one-shot him.
True, but I mean, like the mental anguish of getting 3-man he's not going to be like, oh, I got 2 man there. He's going to go, I got 3 man, and nothing's going to happen on Toasty.
Yeah, no, that was definitely
No way.
the time and time again of last season. Monkey roaming mid lane, and then nothing happens to Toasty. I mean, team's definitely got to try and punish for Monkey's roams, but it never happens. Even Toasty's even looking at pretty dead even farm here. So,
I mean, they just have.
oh, actually, the engage comes through. Okay, so you got to be careful doing that with Abarn in his current mana health situation, but nothing.
I mean, they had full cooldowns and they had full sums while Monkey went mid, and Toshi just danced on him.
Right.
Like,
right, they didn't even zone him off the wave. He's still getting farm. Fruit's actually looking for some alcove gameplay here. Will not be found on any words, but the bot lane from front to back will be facing here.
if they can just scout the back, Diana should just go take plates here. It's huge. It's a huge push. Diana should take the plates so that she can threaten the tower with the next.
Yeah, I would say Diana should be getting every possible lead he can here, but he will just be letting his bot lane take the plates here.
They
Or
probably
just
get
one
3
plate.
plates.
They're a little afraid of, I guess, not seeing Zen, but
Well, I think they're looking for the third Drake or the second Drake here.
yeah, it's very possible they're going ahead and basing now.
I think Diana should clear Krugs down, but this is. And I think that people place too much stock in Drakes right now. Like, he picks up Scud here, he goes Krugs, then he backs, and then he goes to clean up whatever goes to Drake, and I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, I'd have to say Drake. My big thing about Drakes is it's just so sad if you lose the 2 initially. Oh, actually, we're going for the full-on. Oh, man, goes for the full combo on to. Oh, in the meantime, Fruge is actually going in on Caridian. Caridian will be able to flash away. The Nautilus will come through, but Caridian will still go down. Wow.
Why did
Big
Caridian
plays
not
there.
flash earlier?
I'm not sure. Oh, man, Monkey going for that hook that
Pokemon
just
soloed Will?
Pokemon soloed Will with. Oh, okay, TJ will
It's a
actually be able
1v2, the game's over.
TJ will be able to finish him off. I was going to point out earlier, but we got in some fights that Pokemon went ahead and got, what's the item called? Not Maw. Hex Drinker. So that is pretty big in that 1v1 matchup. I'd say it's, for like team fights and overall, it's kind of bad, but in the 1v1 specifically, that's definitely a big advantage. So not totally surprised with the Ghost to see the 1v1 there, but TJ is going to be getting a ton here for this. TJ is going to get tons of
our magic damage. Victor is probably like the people who are going to kill him are going to do it with magic damage. I actually think the Hex Drinker is pretty good.
I think it's decent. So the one problem with it, I'd say, is that Word's going to build Riftmaker, and so you don't want to. Oh wow, Fruge just finds Abarn. We missed that. Sorry, Fruge, for missing your solo kill, but Fruge gets the.
He just missed
finds
the
Abarn
eye.
out.
He could have just been hitting it, and he let it hit the tower.
Yeah, he did. But my only thing about the Hex Drinker is that you're not going to have E, which will be important for like the true damage and the non-magic damage. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like you're going to build it for the 1v1, and he got the kill, so that's good for him. I hope he doesn't complete them all early though. Things are looking pretty good though for Verdant Monkeys. I mean, obviously we saw that last game. So, oh, actually, Spirit going in for Verd. Verd will flash the hook, definitely necessary. So, well played on Spirit to find that flash.
I think this is a much different game than the last one. I think having a lead on an ADC that's borderline unkillable, and an artillery mage, and an assassin is...
Dude, I say forget the ADC. Having a Diana being massive instead of a Lee Sin is going to matter so much more later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Abarn's going to feel the heat. I mean, like, the thing is Nautilus is also getting CC'd because he has to stick to him, and then unless he's A-clicking Diana out, which I've never seen Spirit do, it's... I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the counterplay is here.
Yeah, and they definitely don't have that just, like, sometimes undealable with engage from the Malphite. I mean, you've got almost no engage. You've got a hook from Nautilus, and you've got, you know, Zen jumping in, but the counter engage from Fruge is just going to blow everyone up if they do even try to engage. So yeah, it's definitely looking more favorable for Monkeys here with this lead than last time. I mean, the gold lead is different, but I mean, you got gold in some pretty important places. And again, I don't think I can stress enough, as big as Fruge is right now, how much that's going to matter in some of these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, we just have Vel'Koz hard push lanes here, and I mean, Mordekaiser, like, he may have more gold than Darius, but that's in Bramble Tabby. I mean, this is rough.
Yeah, and
You
I mean,
know,
it's not even much gold either. I mean, the only real lead they have is on TJ, and it's just because he got like 5 plates top lane by himself. I think he did get the first tower as well. Good on them to be pushing this. Oop, may not end up happening. I mean, they're gonna need to get rid of this mid tower soon. Oh, actually, the engage comes through from both TJ and Nautilus. No big cooldowns used, but Monkey's just able to lantern him right out.
I don't know why they're looking for anything, because if they go in on Diana there and she lands a Q on A-Barn, I mean, it's a wipe. They have to be super careful about how they engage here. The fact they're getting the Heralds and taking them off the map is really nice, though.
Yeah, that's pretty important for sure that they get that for free. We'll see though. I mean, like I was saying earlier about Dragon, I think it's definitely, if you can get the 2 free dragons early, that's great. I think getting 1 dragon is important, and then you can give 1, because it just feels so much worse to lose soul at 24 minutes than at 30. So the fact that Front to Back does not have a dragon right now and has the deficit is going to be looking pretty dangerous as this soul comes up, which I can't tell. Do we know which soul this is? Air or...
This is
it is air soul.
Cloud.
Okay, so it's definitely a lot less scary. I'd hate to see for Front to Back. I'd hate to see a fed Diana with a infernal soul, but even so, soul is soul. It's still important. Still free stats.
So I actually already know how they're gonna play this, because I've heard them talk about it before. Essentially, what's gonna happen here is Mordekaiser is essentially gonna sack himself on the Diana. The issue is his itemization is so bad against it. He could die fast enough to where it doesn't matter, and he doesn't have stopwatch, and he doesn't have Zhonya's for his 3rd Drake. So
that,
the
and
team
if
should just concede it.
That, and if he isn't able to just ult Diana quickly enough, Diana could just blow up his team before he even ults her. I mean, if he gets included in any kind of CC and he can't ult, looks like they aren't even going to try and contest this. They're just going to drop the Herald. I think that's smart. They can't fight right now.
True. I mean, they could have dropped the Herald. I want to say they could have dropped it elsewhere, but I guess Red is gonna. Actually, the mid real estate's really important here. I think this is really good for Red team. I think that the blue team should have probably dropped this mid, not lost. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, if they snag an extra tower here, they are going to snag an extra tower. Oh, if they actually get a 3rd charge off of this, that would be huge. I can't see that happening, but they might try for it here. Oh wait, did Herald die?
2 for 2 is huge here.
Yeah, 2 for 2 is terrible. I mean, you used Herald and still traded towers 2 for 2.
I thought I was going to see a flash pull here, because they flash pulled, they get almost
actually,
honestly.
Yeah, they are actually collapsing on the mid lane using that Herald, or excuse me, Soul. Tokemon's just going to ghost out. So in the end, they trade 2 for 2 on towers. Oh, actually, TJ finds Verd in the jungle. TJ is pretty strong, so wouldn't be surprised to see him 1v1ing. Fruge actually going for the 1v1 back. I don't think he can actually win this. Okay, Monkey will show up. TJ doing his best to get out. Does have the Sterax. Reformed Bully will be showing up. Yeah, Fruge, you got to be careful here. TJ's huge. TJ's the only Fed member on their team. TJ is actually going to be getting multiple kills back. Another fight going on in the mid lane. Looks like Pokemon will be getting a kill on Nautilus. This is some chaos once again, although Toasi's got to go down here. I mean, actually, I think they all might go down. Not quite. Okay, Toasty will flash out.
Toasty could have killed Victor with the flash. I just don't like... It's like Red Team gets picked, and then it's like they lose all of their bearings. Like, they just start, like, screaming and flailing around. And this... It doesn't even make sense. Like Vel'Koz should have never been caught, but even with Vel'Koz caught, like, I mean, just walk backwards into your base. Press B where you stand. Like, it's not...
Yeah, they got... I think they also need to remember that TJ is literally the only one on their team that has any kind of gold whatsoever. And so they can't, like, if Fruge doesn't immediately one-shot him, which with Sterax he can't, then TJ's just gonna win that fight, even with Monkey there, unless Monkey's just permanently seeing him, which he was too far away to do. I mean, it's still, I mean, it's the same thing as last time, where the initial throw was not the end for them, but certainly they need to not give anything else back here. They need to just finish this soul and keep the leads they have without getting picked, because could start to turn once again, like last game.
True. I think that, Diana's clearing top to bottom here. Fruge is just clearing a lot of camps, and TJ. The fact that TJ and Fruge are even in CS is kind of concerning, because TJ is just so massive in comparison.
Yeah, he's up like 3K on him.
So I mean, this is just like a weird. Like I don't understand why I'm looking at a lull when I should be looking at a Baron pressure. All right, here we go. Blue team's going for it.
They're going
Nice
for the
to
skill
see.
on bot lane. Gonna have to be a little careful here as blue team is at Baron right now. That's funny. Well played there by Fruge to miss the hit. He's got to be a little careful here because Mordekaiser's doing a lot. Mordekaiser's actually going to kill him. Tokimon will be able to finish him off just fine, but... Or will he? If his shield... Okay, he will. His shield will come back up. That was a bad play, though. I mean, you can't... When you have no vision of the enemy team, you can't just go for the split pusher like that unless you kill him instantly and then head straight to Baron. But they just lose Baron. I mean, that is not worth...
Yeah, I mean, getting more on the Darius is fine. I think the Darius solos the Mordekaiser at this stage of the game. I just don't know why I don't know why Diana's here too.
Yeah, I don't...
Three's a party. Let's leave it at company.
Yeah, and unless you're just huge, I mean, Diana's 1v1 is so much worse than her like team fight potential. Like, I hate to see him going for these consistent 1v1s if he's not just hard winning them, because his team needs him elsewhere to just like be that engaged. Like, if they're both...
should look for a huge ulti here. It is a great place to look. As soon as Nautilus started walking back, blue side can't fight here. They have to choose a bush.
Tower did go down for blue side in that bot lane. Looks like it will be returned by Victor in the top lane. This dragon's gonna come up, and I mean,
just
as nice as Soul is, I think they should just give this and let Baron continue to run out. I mean, the smaller the Baron play in terms of gold, the better for the Verdant Monkeys.
They don't have to look for the Drake itself. They can just fire abilities. Let Vel'Koz be the artillery mage he is and look for kills on the outside of it. Like, it doesn't... It's not just Drake or no Drake. There has to be more nuance to it rather than just creating a pressure vacuum where Drake once stood. I mean, like, the way that they went in mid here, like, they could have cut them off with Vel'Koz ult and chunked them, saved more HP on their towers, like...
Sure, I agree. I mean, they definitely could be stalling farther than... Oh, what a great hook from Monkey! Oh, wow. Man, what a hook. That's... Well, okay. I mean, take everything back. They found the pick they needed. Actually,
results-based analysis, boy.
The baby. Ghost here. TJ actually going for an engage. TJ should just kind of die here, I think. Mordekaiser will just ult the Diana right away. The repeat hook from Monkey will get the shutdown over to Verd, and Mordekaiser was not able to kill the Diana, which means Mordekaiser will be going down here as well. An absolute massive fight from Verd Monkeys. I would kind of say a throw from... I keep forgetting, front to back, but at the same time, I mean, you just gotta applaud Monkey for his multiple I mean, the first hook is just huge, the second hook is really well timed. I mean, that's exactly what they needed there.
If macro-wise they had just played, if they did this at Drake, Monkey would not have had to have played his brains out in order to make this work.
Oh, man. Okay. That was an ult for nothing.
If as long as Toasty's not giving these massive shutdowns, please, Toasty, God, no.
They all need to get out. Like, everyone leave. You got so much, do not give it back.
If Toasty throws this shutdown, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with myself. I can't take it anymore. They just need to walk back to base. Like, this is not a complicated one.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's thinking with that ult there, is he does not want to give the shutdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. They just have to, like, not back in the worst places humanly possible.
But yeah, even so, if you just used your ult to get out of a hook that didn't even connect, you can't stay around for Raptors when they're chasing you. Oh, I don't love the early Maw completion from Darius, but that's a little picky from me. Just because the Maw Shield skills on your bonus health, so...
Well, Mordekaiser can't ult Darius anymore, and I think that's actually very big. Because on top of that, Diana has Zhonya's, so Mordekaiser is like out of the game in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like Mordekaiser can only ult to stall now, whereas before he could be proactive with it.
And if that's the case, I'd rather just see Asterix from Darius to be blocking the damage from things like Kraken Slayer, from Kaisa, or even just, you know, Zen damage, whatever. A little picky for me. Oh, actually, Spirit going for a flash hook onto Verd will force the flash of Verd. Both teams just kind of... I mean, both teams just kind of running around here, not sure what to do, considering there's no objectives up. There's really not much farm up either, aside from lanes. I think these teams are a little scared of throwing this game on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of walking around like lost children, and they have Verd, and Verd plays the Vel'Koz well, so they just need to walk down mid and, you know, grow some cojones, man. Like, this is it.
But, I mean, even here, like, just take the top turret. I mean, that top outer turret is so hard to defend. Like, you'd be doing something instead of just, you know, hanging out mid lane.
But, I mean, the Nay Ram is kind of something that's up close and personal to TCL.
True.
You know? They're going to go for this Drake. They're not going to be able to end in 6 minutes. And we're going to coin flip the Eld. And honestly, TJ's real scary when it comes to coin flipping the Elder. I think that's actually front to back's win con would be the Elder coin flip. They don't take the next Drake, they coin flip the Elder. So they're not going to scale. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I see this game necessarily going on for another 7-8 minutes until Elder is up and being taken. Maybe it does. Darius going pretty hard in here. TJ actually going for a bit of a re-engage here. TP is coming in. Diana goes in the back line. Will get a hit, but it's just going to go down as he doesn't really get anything. Mordekaiser ult is through. Oh no, Mordekaiser ult just now comes in. This fight is actually huge for front to back TJ. Well, that's what we were talking about. Shutdown goes over to Mordekaiser. Guardian looking for more on Verd. Wow, that's the throw. I think that fight was just super disconnected there. I mean, Fruge went in on the back line and did not find really much of anything there for what he needed. I think they just, you know, if they just play that fight, interestingly enough, front to back initially, considering how spread out the team was and the TP was coming in from Mordekaiser. But yeah, they lose another fight. Shutdown goes over from Toasty, and looks like this next drag, they won't even get Soul. Next drag will be for team front to back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm greatly concerned. I don't know if I can stomach another throw. I mean, this is so bagged for Monkey. It's actually, it's kind of painful to see it even close. Like the fact that Mordekaiser walked into 3 people and picked up an ult onto Azaya with flash and ult it's putrid. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's great word. Like such an impossibility that Alec had ulti and flash and got ulted by Mordekaiser. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond.
It's pretty sad. I mean, yeah, it definitely needs to just see the whole team collapsing on the TP when the opponent's team is so spread out there. But they're.
This is a fight for red team. It is a huge, massive fight for red team. I think they absolutely wipe it here, but they just have to fight as 5. Darius going
TJ
top.
actually going for very aggressive play. Will be totally fine there as red team just doesn't have members, forcing the barrier out of Verd.
If they push mid here, they could lose the game. I think Xin not having ult up into an artillery mage is risking the biscuit.
I mean, this kind of goes back a little bit to, like, you know, the difference in comps from front to back from last game to this game. I mean, they have no hard engage. They cannot really pull the trigger under this tower, which they may not necessarily need to, but even so, like, we saw what happened last time. They just sat in front of tower for a while. Monkey found a hook on Cridian and then just, like, blew him up. They have to be really careful here. So there's the engage from Fruge. Let's get the Zhonja out to follow up. TJ getting very low. TJ's GA will not quite go down. 2 members go down now. I can't quite tell who he has. Sorry, my stream is a little laggy here. Darius will go down as well. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the end of the game, but we'll see. There are some pretty low health bars here, but ooh, hook does not quite connect onto Bird. Oh, Monkey finding a good hook here, and there's not really much damage to follow. Oh, actually, no, there's a ton of damage to follow up. Verd actually one-shots Ceridian. Didn't have too much health left, but still. Should still be the end of the game. Good pick there for Monkey to get what he can, but... Oh, Abraham almost falling down here. Should maybe be game. I mean, there's some very low health bars. Actually, Abraham will get killed off. Actually, all the members of the team will get killed off.
Okay, this is a lot of gold.
TJ is alive still. Oh, is not quite able to finish it up. Yeah, this is...
And I think it's going to coin flip into Eld.
Yeah, this is really dangerous for both teams. I mean, like you said, that is so much gold back in the pockets of Verdant Monkeys here. I mean, they do have to be a little careful, especially considering there is a double TP up. I can't really tell if those TPs are up right now or not.
Bullies is almost up and Ceridian's is up.
Okay. So if both TPs are almost up, they have to be really careful with this wide open Nexus here, but it's a, I mean, they were about to lose, so that's all you can ask for. But yeah, we'll see.
You know, call me crazy. I think that the QSS tax should almost be paid by Diana here. I think that the fact that Xayah has a QSS it's crazy. I mean, he's never ever supposed to get in range of Xayah. That's the whole point of the Thresh Xayah, is to never be threatened.
Yeah, Mordekaiser shouldn't be able to just walk up and ult like he has been able to, but that's what's happened. I mean, I guess it really only happened the one time, but I guess that was Toasty. It's enough for Toasty to be afraid of the second instance of that happening. I also think sometimes people just think Mordekaiser exists, I need to get a QSS, and that's not always the case. I mean, if we want to bring up my last week against the Mordekaiser, I was totally happy to be getting ulted on repeat by the Mordekaiser, so I think that's the kind of scenario here again. Like, if Darius is getting ulted by the Mordekaiser, he's happy to do it. He shouldn't be. No one on the team should really need to build QSS if he just ults to Darius every time.
I think they need to 5v5 for the Drake here and pick up the Soul and then coin flip the Eld in order to win this game. Baron is not there. Baron does red team literally nothing but taking it off the map.
They definitely need to do something here, because any kind of, not only a lost fight, but also just a botched play in general could result in an instant loss with that open Nexus. Looks like they're not even contesting this dragon, though. I mean, it isn't soul yet for blue team yet, but at the same time, they're also getting 3 Cloud Souls now, or excuse me, Cloud Drakes now, which is going to be a lot of cooldown reduction on that ultimate, on those ultimates.
I mean, a 6 dragon game. I don't know, like...
How many dragons can we get to? Will we see 7?
I mean, yeah, there is. I'd be surprised to see this edit this Baron, because they're probably gonna get Baron. Monkey's team is probably gonna get a kill, and then they're gonna coin flip the next Drake, and then coin flip the Elder.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to this fight. I mean, if either team hides a big fight and wipes, it could just be over for both teams. They are being pressured a little bit by this Mordekaiser, and just the downside of having an open Nexus like this. Baron is going down pretty quickly here. Actually, will be reset.
They need to kill Mordekaiser here. They have such a tiny window to do it. Monkey, you're the main character. Nope.
No, they're just a little afraid here. Fruge is in position. I mean, it's going to be a 50-50. I think it's a little dangerous. Ceridian actually forced to flash right away from the Thresh hook. We'll be getting a lot of damage in return onto Thresh. Baron will go down for blue team, and no kills will come out of this.
Yep, they just go on the Nexus, they fight as hard as they can, as fast as they can, it's probably over. What is this pathing? I just don't understand.
Well, Darius,
there's an ult from... He saved it.
Darius is actually ulted here. Well, the fight goes in. Abron actually ults into the back line, is forced to flash out right away. This fight is not actually looking great for blue team. Initially, Tokimon goes down, number of teammates going down. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's just two in the favor of blue side here. They will be finishing off this game.
Yeah,
and that'll be the end.
I think that's pretty sad. I think if they go for Mordekaiser there, and they either 1-for-1 or they kill him, and then they just engage before the minions hit their nexus. I mean, I think that's the only way they could have gone out there. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's no way Monkey's team could really make that work.
Yeah, absolutely. That was it was tough to watch, honestly, between both games to see Monkey's team get a huge lead and then it just, slowly being bled back to the other team. I would have I would have liked to see Monkey's team get a win here at least, but will not be the case. Well, we we got to decide an MVP.
I mean,
I don't know what to say, man, because I mean, I won't say there was a player on either team, except maybe Monkey, that particularly stood out to me both games. So,
what are your
yeah,
thoughts on TJ the first
Wally,
game?
Wally is pointing out that there's just so much more vision bought from blue team than red. What was the question?
What was your thoughts on TJ the first game?
I mean, TJ the first game. I mean, definitely reasonable. I mean, we could give it to TJ. I mean, he was definitely reasonable both games for sure. I mean, Spirit also had a lot of good plays on that Nautilus in the second game, at least, forcing a lot of flashes from Verd out in the mid lane, finding a lot of that early pressure in the early game.
I don't know. TJ catching Verd in the jungle is actually what I mean, obviously Monkey's team, it was Monkey's game to lose. But
Yeah,
what started that was TJ catching Verd in the jungle, and
yeah,
they
sure. TJ,
transitioned that.
yeah, and TJ getting the big lead for himself up in the top lane and using that lead to find picks and get another kill onto Diana. Sure, let's go with TJ. I will go ahead and bring him in here. Actually, he is deaf and muted right now, so I don't know if he will be
Did you notice that
available for an interview.
Bully has Morello and Bramble?
Wait. No, I didn't. Wait, can we go back to the items? I did not notice that. Oh man, it doesn't stack, by the way, if anybody didn't know that. Okay, TJ might be back around. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him in here.
That was good.
Oh, never mind. He's gonna be brought in here. I didn't even get it off. TJ, welcome. We're gonna give you the interview, even though it was a hard decision because no one on your team is good.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. So let's just start off with. I mean, the rough early game, honestly, for both games. I mean, Verdant Monkeys just had a big fat lead in that first game. They were like 5-6K. Second game, they were maybe not so up so much gold, but definitely were in a comfortable standpoint in terms of drakes and slight leads and et cetera, et cetera. What was your guys' mental like in the beginning of those games?
I mean, it was fine. Game one, we just took a really bad dragon fight. We just should have played patient, and it was free. But I mean, we gave leads early, but we picked like super comfort and just held on until we could find winning fights.
So, I real quick, so whose call was it to ban Nard the second game?
It was actually Reform Bully's call.
Really?
He didn't really want to play Malphite 2 games in a row. It was not up on his list of things to do today.
You
Would
were
say he?
hold on. You were going to put him on Malphite again if you didn't ban the Gnar? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, because Malphite just beats the heck out of Gnar.
It didn't in that first game, that's for sure.
Well, that's because he's boosted.
I see.
No, but coming into the ban phase game 2, we figured that they probably wouldn't pick their top laner in first rotation, and that we could pinch them pretty hard in the second rotation.
Yeah.
And put them on something that we could just win through top on.
Would you say that that Bully's adrenaline was pumping in that Malphite versus Gnar game? Like my thing is like how many Qs can Malphite throw before he gets annihilated? And how many times do you think that Gank should come to get the Malphite ahead? Was he
True.
the true carry of game one?
Let me
Uh,
throw in one more question to that. How does it feel as a team to put multiple 3-man ganks into a top laner who still remains down 50 CS?
It feels great. I mean,
Well, okay, Bully basically single-handedly won the game at Drake when he ulted Vayne. So
It's
I
true.
think
Yeah, yeah.
it was a master plan, and he just did more damage with his ulti, and TJ just knew it was
Priorities,
going to
yeah,
go down.
priorities in the proper place,
it's
man.
just a top diff, as Sir Aaron would say.
Let me also ask about draft. What were your thoughts about Abarn getting his absolute most played and favorite, probably ADC, in both games, and also receiving extra ADC bans? I gotta say, from Verdant Monkeys, we were pretty shocked that Kaisa was not getting touched in the ban phase.
Yeah, well,
I
I mean, continue,
I
sorry.
think they just figured they could abuse it harder than they could. I mean, they did in the second game, but Abarn since yesterday has just been lagging his face off, and he has complained about that all night.
Okay, so when you guys saw the Zaya pick into Kaisa, did you guys like that, or because I personally I saw that and I thought Zaya was going to get absolutely creamed by Kaisa in the matchup. I mean, are you guys concerned about that matchup? Was that bad for Abarn?
Uh, I don't know what's good or bad for Abarn. They sometimes just lose lane. I believe Toasty would call it Bot Kingdom happened.
Yeah, a lot of bot kingdom going down today.
Yeah, no. I overall, I'm really impressed with my team. We played bad today, but we haven't really gotten to practice all week because Abarn's been gone.
Who do you think
Um,
played the best, by the way?
I would have to say I don't want to give him the ego, but it's got to be Caridian.
Oh,
Because he played Monsters game one. He did have a pretty greedy play bottom, but it didn't matter because they just walked into us and died.
I will say that was a pretty darn good play from Caridian outside of the outer tower. Outer tower of Red Side when he got hooked there. That was pretty insane from David.
David just turns off his eyes sometimes.
Sorry, I had to. Yeah, well, congratulations to you guys for the win. Sitting on the comfortable 2-0 now for your team. So congratulations. And Raymond, you got anything else for TJ before we move on to closing out here?
I had you guys set to 2-1. I didn't think you guys were going to take the second game seriously, and it got a little rocky, but congrats on your 2-0. Hey, good job, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Alrighty, that will be the wrap up for us in tonight's stream. Let me pull up real quick what our next matchup is for tomorrow. It is it will be Raymond, your team versus Control's team. We've got Chungle Control versus the Footlongs. Should be an exciting matchup between two teams that both won their first week matchups. So should be a good one. Everyone, come back tomorrow. Tune in, and yeah, got anything else for us before we close here?
We played a 3 block against Controls team last night. It was a 3-0. So show up,
Oh,
boys. Gonna be
oh,
hype.
okay. Little scrim leaks there, as we like to joke about. So we'll see. Maybe he just cursed his team into losing 2-0. I don't know. But yeah, thank you Raymond for coming on casting. Thank you Wally for production, and we will see you guys later.
Anytime. Deuces, everybody.